We got a few things we want to discuss. I don't want to start with Court Storm because I think it's boring, but we'll get to it second. What I want to start with is Michigan State and Tom Izzo. And man, it pains me to say this, Rob. It pains me to even ask you this question. They've lost 2 straight. They're on the bubble. Seemingly, they've been on the bubble every year here for the last few years. Haven't really done anything in the tournament. Is it time? Is it time for Tom Izzo? Because he's fought the transfer portal. He's kind of been vocal about NIL. Is it time because the world is changing in college basketball and Tom Izzo is not really overly happy to adapt with it? Is it time for him to say, I'm done. I'm done.
I can't say yes to that. I don't think so. I just think he's got to be more open to, I mean, Tyson Walker is from the portal. So like, it's not like he doesn't use it. He didn't use it this last offseason. I know Michigan State fans are frustrated with a lot of the Xavier Booker playing time, and he started yesterday and did some good things. And I think he makes some mistakes defensively. He's certainly not very physical. So I'm sure that in looking, and Jay Wright kind of hit on this on the broadcast, I'm sure he thought, well, Felix Akpara is one of the, I guess, less physical bigs in the league compared to like Cliff Amore or Zach Edey or some of the other guys that you might go up against. So let's play him a lot. And he did some good things, but didn't play the last 15 minutes of the game. And they went back to Mady Sissoko. You know, I know that you should not lose to Ohio State. They're a team that has fired their head coach, not at the Breslin Center.
Right, not at home.
Yeah. And Jake Diebler has done a great, I mean, for him to beat Purdue and Michigan State, that is just a phenomenal job by him. But my thing is for Michigan State, besides the Booker stuff, and yeah, like, could he have gotten some run in the last 15 minutes? Of course he could have. I don't know what Tom Izzo's thought process was to not play him. I'm sure he had a reason. He's been to the Final Four like 100 times, and he's a Hall of Famer. But if your best players suck in a game, you're probably not going to win. Right. And Jay Nakins, I thought, was bad. Tyson Walker couldn't make a shot. AJ Hogard was certainly not good. You're just not going to win when those guys don't play well. And it's not like Ohio State played outstanding basketball. You know, they scored 60 points. So, and they had like 21 at halftime or 22 points at halftime.
It's a grind.
It was an ugly game. It was, I don't know. My thing with Tom Izzo, and I said this, I did a Michigan State podcast like a couple days ago. And I said, Michigan State used to look like Houston looks to me now, where I was like going into games thinking, man, we could get embarrassed if we don't rebound the basketball. If we don't get back, we could get embarrassed. And I look at the guys that he has in his front court now, and there's not the same level of toughness. There's not the same level of size, athleticism. And look, I understand.
Backups.
No, I hear you. I understand that the game has changed from like, it's more skilled now. You're not going to play like Raymar Morgan at the 3 and just have 2 huge dudes next to him at the 4 and the 5. They actually tried it yesterday. They played Cohen Carr at the 3 and then put Carson Cooper and Mady Sissoko at the 4 and the 5. So that's not what I'm talking about. But just like the grimy, gritty, going to crush you on the glass, that mentality has left the program. And I don't know why. And I just think that he has to go get some personnel that can do that. That's what's weird to me. Those are his staples. And you can still win like that. You can still win and play not maybe with the same type of personnel, but with the same type of ideology. Houston has proven that. They will destroy you on the glass. And I don't know why in this 4-year iteration of Michigan State basketball that's been kind of gone away from, because you can still get some guys that can live that and you can win like that still. And they've totally gone away from that. And I don't know. I think he's got to pivot, and the portal he's going to have to go to the portal this year because Walker's gone. I assume that Hogard is done, but I guess he could come back with a COVID year. Malik Hall is gone. Who else? Sissoko graduates. So those 3 guys are out of there. I would think that in looking at the roster, he's going to have to go get some pieces from the portal.
And he's got money. Matt Ishbia was a former manager. So, like, it's not like Tom Izzo couldn't raise, if he wanted to, $3 million in a day for the portal if he wants to. Now, again, he said he was loyal last year to his base. Yeah. And I think he might have said that 2 years ago even. And this year as well. And it's like, all right, like, I get it. And we all love loyalty. We all love Izzo for that, right? He's going to stand by his guys, and he may throw them under the bus here and there, but ultimately we know he's going to stand by his guys, whether it's Hogard or Sissoko, whatever. I'll say this too. When your staff, I feel like these days you got to have a young staff. You got to have a young staff, and he's got Izzo, who's 69. And then you've got Doug Wojcik, who's been a former head coach, who was out for a little while. And you got Mark Montgomery, who came back, who's been a former head coach at Northern Illinois. You hired Thomas Kelly, who's been a mid-major assistant. I just don't know if that
Thomas Kelly's
right now.
He's not old. Thomas Kelly's
no, I know. No. I'm saying he's the one, but he's been a mid-major guy, is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, he hasn't done it at the high major level. I think you need a good staff right now, especially with the portal. Like, I think you got to have. Now, those guys at least know what to bring Izzo, but I don't know. It's a young man's game. It is a young man's game right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that Coach Izzo he didn't want to get in the portal. So what, you could be the greatest assistant coach in the history of the world.
You got to convince him. You got to convince Izzo that he has to get in the portal.
You think that I mean, this is a guy that he has won so much. I don't feel like that's an easy task to just be like, yo, let's take some portal guys.
If they're all telling him, if his whole staff is telling him, hey, Tom, we're going to get our ass kicked at the 5 if we don't bring in somebody. Everybody's telling him this. I do think he goes to the portal and gets another big. And that's the difference in this. Well, Jaden Akins, to me, is the other difference in this team. Because
he's 4 points, 1 of 9 yesterday. You know, like he needs to be.
He's
too talented. He's too talented to have lines like that. And he's had stretches this year where he's been really good. But he has games like this where, you know, it's not great.